Everybody, good afternoon, and
Hello.
welcome to the Robinhood Capitalist. I'm your host, DJ Flores. With me, as always, my coach and advisor. Oh, there he is. Why does it reverse like that? Sometimes, anyways. Coach, what's going on? So glad to have you back, and so
Man, it's
glad to
good.
be back on here.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to be doing the show again. Good to be home. Hey, I'm at the home office, so this is even better.
I know. I had to ask you. Obviously, I was like, hold on. What is there a special occasion or something? Why are you home?
No,
You're not supposed to be home.
no, this is a good week for me. I had a little travel last week. Was in Indianapolis for a bit, doing some leadership meetings, and this week back in place. So it's good to be home.
Nice. How'd the meetings go? Everything went good?
Yeah, everything was good. We had a little kind of a vision retreat and planning retreat for 2 days. So that's always a lot of fun to do. Did a little mission statement work, kind of blue ocean type thing. And I just had a little fun along the way. So it was pretty awesome.
I love it. Well, we won't keep them waiting unless you got anything else to go. We'll get started. We'll get kind of into it. Everybody who is joining us, obviously, give us a shout out in the comments. But we just want to give a recap. Obviously, we are back. We had been missing for a little bit. So we want to give an update of what's going on, what's next, and just big things to come. So if you all are ready, let's get started. You ready, coach?
I'm ready, always.
You get one heartbeat song. Take it seriously. This is your masterpiece. Don't forget to dream and taste the colors in the air you breathe. It's your masterpiece. Go ahead and feel it all. Don't stop till it is beautiful. Don't stop till it is beautiful. Don't stop till it is beautiful.
And again, everybody, like our intro says, you got one heartbeat. It is your masterpiece. Don't stop until it's beautiful. Um, really want to kind of recap and get everybody back on page to what our mission is here at the Robinhood Capitalist. So we started this, not really sure. I guess we were kind of like people who are learning a business for the first time or getting into business for the first time. Like, kind of like, what do I want to do with this? Where do I want to go with this? And so we played with it for a little bit, and I think we know where the direction we want to go. We kind of know where we want to take this thing. Again, our mission, as always, and still is, we want to help 10,000 families create their heaven on earth. And I know that sounds crazy. It sounds woo woo. It sounds a lot of different things, but we just really want people to find their happiness with what they do and with who they're with. And if you can find joy out of life, then isn't that heaven to begin with? So, Coach, let's get into that. I guess we'll just go right get deep in it. So, our mission, obviously, when we partnered up, when we decided to do this, when John introduced you to me, and we were like, and I told you my crazy ideas, you were like, I'm all in, and I'm like, yes. Hold on, you don't think I'm crazy? So, but obviously, the mission of helping 10,000 families create heaven on earth. That sounds like, again, it sounds woo woo. So, Coach, can you, I guess, in your coach way, because you are a lot more logical than I am. I am the woo woo, and you are the let's get this in the boxes and in the lines for everybody. So, how do we actually make that happen? How can we help people create heaven on earth?
Well, the fortunately, being all in and whether you're crazy or not are not interrelated completely. So they didn't go together totally. But no, but what we talked about, and when you brought up, because you came up with the Robin Hood Capitalist, we were talking about taking the rich ideas, the good ideas, and sharing them with everyone to help improve the lives of anyone that we meet. And as a coach, that's what I spend a lot of time doing is I help people find clarity in their own life. And so there are times I might be working with a business owner, and when we start, it's business, business, business. But as we start to talk, we work on a lot of things that aren't business at all, because our happiness, our contentment here on this earth is about a lot more than what we do to earn money. It's about a lot more than the wealth we create. Those things are very important, and I want to help people along those lines too. But a big part of our happiness is just clarity of self, clarity of who we are, what we want to become, who we are becoming if we don't change course, lots of those kind of things. And that's the insights that I was hoping that we could bring to others. And so we're going to highlight successful people that, and we said from the beginning, we want to bring people on who are quote unquote happy, and that's defined by every individual. But we wanted to bring people who are content. They know who they are, they know where they're going, and they have something to share that will be something that we can all learn and grow from. Um, I'm a huge believer that if you aren't intentionally on a plan for growth in your life right now, you're growing in ways that probably aren't serving you. And so the other piece of this was let's bring on information that can help folks be very intentional on their path for growth, because who and what we're becoming is very important.
I love the way you said that, Coach.
If we're not driving that car, man, it's going to go somewhere where we probably don't want it to go. And so this is about a lot about intentionality and helping you guys find and chart your own path.
Mm, you said so much, and I knew you would. In the logical, money way you do, which is so powerful. But there's some things I want to dive a little bit deeper into, because I think people just gloss over it. You said about intentional, and you said about happy, and it's people's choice. I think there's those two things, though. I think that's where the mission, where probably people like us throw people off because of the happy. And we talk about happy, and there's people who don't like to talk about happy. Just I'll say it's my opinion. I will fall on the sword for this, but I think if you don't like that other people are talking about happy, you're probably not happy yourself. But how do people actually figure out what makes them happy? And I think you nailed it with the clarity. If you are just, Zig Ziglar, I think it was Zig, said wandering generality, would always use that statement.
Yep.
And that's, if we aren't super clear with everything that we want out of life, I don't know if this was Wayne Dyer that said this or who else said this, but like we have, obviously we are responsible for our life always, no matter what. You wake up today, you're responsible. Until you go to sleep, you're responsible for what you did, where your life went, how your life progressed. Now, control, you can give that to somebody else. Responsibility never gets transferred. So why give control if you're always going to be responsible? And that's where I think people miss the connection of, well, then I'm not happy. I don't really want to do this. I don't really like these people I'm with. I don't like this, but they're settling. And I think a lot of people settle. How do we help them, I guess, break beyond that fake sense of I'm happy and it's really just content, and get them to want to really go after and find that clarity to what they really want. What's their purpose?
Yeah, well, happiness, it's a double-edged sword, because there's a lot of folks out there that are happy living a life that isn't serving them at all.
Uh,
Right?
yeah, yeah,
I spent
yeah.
quite a few years in a happy state that wasn't the happy state that I'm in now. It was quite different, and it wasn't the path I should have been on. So, so maybe that's where people get a little confused. Happiness, in our definition, I don't think it's about always smiling, always laughing, jovial all the time. I think happiness is just a place where you can be content with who you are, with who you're with what you're doing, and you stop comparing yourself to everyone and everything else. But a good way to do that is we're going to help people, as John Maxwell wrote in his book. He says, he had a book called Put Your Dream to the Test. So we kind of help people put their dream to the test. Are you on the right path? Are you following someone else's dream for you? Are you doing something because you think it's what's expected? Or are you actually through a self-discovery doing what really you were designed and meant to do? And Ziegler did say that. He said, it's time to stop being a wandering generality and become a meaningful specific. And so
Yeah.
this, in my definition of happiness, it's about living a life of meaning and a life of purpose. And I believe once we find our purpose in life and start to really pursue it, that's when you're going to be the happiest you've ever been.
Coach, that is money. And yes, you nailed it. I you Man, there's so much to really, man, we could really kind of deep dive into this, but I don't want to keep going. Maybe Thursday we'll go a little bit deeper. I do want to kind of highlight what's next. But to go with what you talked about, you nailed it. Purpose and meaning. We want to help you in the end. And that really is what we're trying to do. Help you find your purpose. If you feel now, look, if you're happy, or maybe you think you're happy, that's okay. We thought we were happy at different points in our life too, like Coach just mentioned. But if you know that you're not, that's who we're looking for. Again, we're looking for the ones who are like, they feel like they're stuck. They feel like, why am I doing this?
Yeah,
What is it?
there's something better out
There's
there for
something
me.
more.
There's
Yeah,
something
you feel like there's this thing inside. But I want to talk about one thing, last deep thing, and then maybe I'll kind of plant the seed here, and then we'll talk about this on Thursday. But I seen this on a video. We talked a lot about Dr. Bruce Lipton and biology of belief. Read the book, y'all, if you didn't. But talk about frequencies, vibrations. And I think it was a video that said joy and gratitude are one of the highest vibrations or levels of vibration that there are. So now, like, if people could wrap their hand, and I want everybody to wrap your heads around this. If you can wrap your head around this, joy and gratitude are the highest vibration. So if that's the highest vibration, everybody who has these crazy ideas, morning routines, 5 a.m. club, miracle morning routine, all of these different things, there's a reason. They start up with gratitude. Now they're vibrating it out there. So if you believe that, but to go even deeper with that, and I want to talk more about this on Thursday, Coach. I had never heard this before, and I don't know how true it is. So actually, I want to talk about this on Thursday so I can look in and validate it a little bit more. But they said that supposedly authenticity is the highest form of vibration. It's 400 times stronger than anything else. Authentic, being your authentic, what you were made here for, your purpose and your meaning, what you were really brought here for, why you're here every day. That's what it is. And I think that is what they're talking about. So when you said, when you have a life, again, back to Zig, wandering generality, you're just kind of staying in the middle. You're not all in one way or the other. You're in the middle. I think David Perez, again, going back to one of our first guests, amazing dude. Check him out. Build your own BYOE. Check him out, Mr. BYOE. But again, he said something that I think today is going to be stronger than, and we're starting to realize it and see it. You have to stand for something. Whether other people don't like your opinion or not, you have to stand for something. There's no more in the middle. In the middle, everybody gets hurt. You're either all in or all out. Don't be in the middle. And that's what I think, where that vibration of being your authentic self, knowing your passion, your purpose, your calling, why you're here, your gift, that takes you to that level where then all of a sudden things just start happening. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And it seems like there's something else in control. But you're just like, when you get to that point, when you know who you are, when you know what your purpose is, you know what your meaning is, you just kind of are there for the ride. Am I right, Coach? Like, you're kind of enjoying it, whether it's good or bad. You're just like, where am I going next? Like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, the work that Dr. Lipton has done is just fascinating to me. And I mean, the law of vibration, everything in the universe, everything that's around us, the desk, the chair we're sitting in, everything is constantly in a state of vibration. Thoughts are things, thoughts are energy, thoughts operate on a certain vibration, a frequency. and the vibrational frequency that we're thinking on matters. And so when you said that gratitude is an important and a higher vibrational frequency, a more important vibrational frequency, there's a lot of data that can back that up. Even books like, I'm going to say it was Tribe of Mentors. It was one of Tim Ferriss's books, and I think that was the one. But
Tim's
it
good.
was kind of an anthology of the podcast guests that he had on over time, and it summarized at the end what they had, and it was all very successful people. It summarized what they had attributed a lot of their success to, and the one thing that stood out to me in the summary was how many said gratitude journal and staying in that state of gratitude, and how important that was to propel them to the level of success that they had achieved. And so we can say it's woo woo all we want. I know you're onto something when you say that living in that vibrational state of gratitude is important, because it is, and being your authentic self, and knowing who you are and who you want to become, and then taking actions to become that person. It's a path to happiness.
And I love that you said it. And you're so you are very guys. If you're watching this now, you catch this on a replay. I've learned some powerful things from some very recent mentors of mine, and one thing very strong is words matter. And Coach, you said it now twice on purpose, I think, but you said becoming, and I think what people don't. I guess what's hard to realize about the game of life. Again, I think this is a game. Life is a game. When you can put the colors together and it starts to make sense, it's a game. And this we can create to whatever we want to be. So that's becoming. But I think that's life always. What is the end of life? Is death, right? So if I just had a post. Actually, I didn't mean to go this way, but it kind of took me this way. But just had a post from Benjamin, I think it was Benjamin Franklin, but of people die at 25, but then they're not buried till 75. And I think that's the same thing. We think once we get to a certain point, we're there. This is who we are, who we have to be, but we're always becoming, and we always can become something else. Like you don't like where you're at, who you
It's our
are, what you
choice.
do.
It's our choice. You have a choice. Somebody had responded to one of our shows on I forget which platform it was, but they listed off like a whole dozen things that are terrible in the world, and said, "And you're trying to say that it starts with me? I have to start with me?" And the answer is yes. It does. It starts with you and controlling the
Yes.
things that you can control, and directing the path that you can direct within all that other stuff that's going on. Yes, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens. Yes, there's going to be ups, downs, and everything in between. Control the things we can control, understand the reality of the situation, and determine, who do you really want to become?
To whoever said that out there, I'm glad you shared. Please share those things. But reach out to us. We want to help you work through that, because that is a wall that and a ceiling that you are creating for yourself. But I think, and you nailed it, Coach, but I think it's hard for people to believe this. But if people could just imagine that whatever you're telling yourself up here, whatever that person, there's all these bad things out there. Yes, and there's always going to be bad things everywhere. That's the world. That's life. Like if we think we're involved in everything that's going on with life, you're crazy to begin with. The only thing that matters is right here in the moment. Right here in the moment, we're talking on a TV, right, on a screen right now. I'm in my office. You're in yours. There's a lot of other things going on. There's accidents happening. There's people dying. There's all kinds of stuff going on out there, but we have no clue because we're right here. And I think people get so distracted by that, and they start calling for more of that. What you think about most is going to appear. To me, I know, again, this is woo-woo for everybody, but if you can really pretend like life is a game, then pretend that in this game, when you start worrying about everything else that has nothing to do with you and your controllables, you're putting on these glasses, and everything you're thinking is now just that bad vision appearing as a ghost. It's just there. There's another one. Oh, there's another one. And you're just bringing them there. But if you could just say, I'm not going to think that way. I'm not going to think about those things. Those things don't affect me. And only thing I can control because that's the thing. So my word of advice to whoever gave that post, thank you. But there's only two things you can ever control in your life. Remember that. Control the controllables. There's only two things: your effort and your attitude. How you approach something is your attitude, and how hard you work at it is your effort. That's the only things you can ever control. Everything else is going to happen. It's happening. It's always happening.
Yeah, the other problem I think we run into, DJ, is we have this microwave society, and everybody wants it to happen right away. And when I say you got to work on yourself, what I'm saying is that's a lifetime. That's a
Yeah,
lifetime deal
yeah.
you're
There's no
signing.
finish line.
There's no time where you go, okay, I'm done working on myself. I'm good.
One last book and one last, I guess, a deep thought to mention. Because again, everybody, whoever's and Claudia, thank you for joining us. And anybody else who's out there who hasn't said anything. But again, we are going to cut this short. I'm excited to go to the airport. I'm picking up Maggie and my kids. I haven't seen them for a week. They're visiting my in-laws, so I cannot wait to go see them. But where I wanted to go with it was the deeper part and the very deepness of just focusing on you. Like it really is a book that I would drop for everybody that if they haven't read, they need to. You need to. The Infinite Game. That's life. Simon Sinek, The Infinite Game. Anybody doesn't understand the basics of that, he says a finite game is football. You have a time that the clock ends. Whoever the score is, they win. That's a finite game. There's rules. There's ending. Life is an infinite game. You're always becoming. You can, if you're waking up, you should first wake up with gratitude and say, thank you. I got a fresh 24 to paint a new canvas and write a new story. If we could think that every day is a new story and we could change, like no matter what happened yesterday, no matter what even happened 5 minutes ago, we can just change. By our choices, if we keep making the right choices that keep taking us up, we can change. So it comes down to us and just our choices.
And it's a process. It's like working out. I wish you could go work out one time and have abs, but that's not how working out works. And so you might go
That'd
weeks,
be
you might
amazing.
go months, and you don't really see the benefit of the work you're putting into yourself. You don't see the benefit right away. What you have to understand is it's about the process. And there is this law of gender, law of gestation, that everything has its time that it needs to grow. And so it's just like planting a seed. You plant the seed, and I don't know if you did that in like second grade when you put the
Yes.
seed in the cup, and like a week later you're like, I don't think mine's working. I just don't think mine's working. But then all of a sudden, all the work that was being done, all that potential underneath shows. And that's what this is. It's a process. And once you start to see the changes and you continue to take the good actions over time, then it's going to compound. Repeated small improvements over time, the compound effect will take charge, and then you'll start to see explosive growth, but it doesn't happen right away. So a lot of people say, oh man, I worked on myself, and it just didn't do anything at all. That didn't help at all. I'm right back where I started. That's right. You keep
working.
Keep at it.
That means you didn't break through the wall yet. You did not break through that ceiling, that next level. God. Coach, we could keep going down this, and I don't want to keep going down this rabbit hole, but I knew we were going to go here.
You're going to have people stuck at the airport if we keep rolling.
I know. But I will tell you, there's a lot that we're gonna on Thursday, because I do have a video kind of talking a little bit about this, and even I'll give a little sneak peek of that. But what you said is, and if people could just grasp this, Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote a book called you'll see it when you believe it, or something like that. You'll see it when you believe it. I think that's what it was called. And it was just in a video. I have the video. I cut it up. I was thinking about sharing it today. But then I was like, no, we'll share it Thursday. We ended up going there anyways. But he talks about that. And his publicists were like, are you sure? Like this? But that's really is. I believe, my belief, again, that's my belief, like Wayne Dyer, like Dr. Bruce Lipton, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, like all of these people. If you believe it, that's when I think you'll see it. You'll see it once you believe it. You're never going to see it if you don't believe it. I think that's why a lot of these famous, very successful people say the quote of, if you believe, you're halfway there. I think belief is the start of it, though. I don't think that's where they really went down with that or got deeper into that quote. Yes, you're halfway there, but you're halfway there because you believe. And if you don't believe in your imagination that it's possible for you, then it's never going to be possible for you or anybody.
Yeah, well, and it's directed belief, and one of the things we have to face when I'm working with someone, we have where we are, we have where we want to go, and where we are, we have to face some certain realities. I can believe all day, all night, and all week long that I can be the starting quarterback for the Cowboys. That ain't gonna happen, right?
No, 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 no.
So,
You
so,
got
so I have to address reality and determine, okay, what is it that I can dream and make my reality? Because for most of us, it's not that we're dreaming too big. For most of us, you're right. It's that we're not dreaming nearly big enough because we don't
mhm.
know. I mean, for some, $10,000 is a big sum of money. For others, 10 million is not even a big sum of
It's
money, right?
nothing. Yeah.
It's nothing. And so what we have to figure out with us is again, let's do some work on clarity. Let's figure out truly who am I, who do I want to become, and then let's start our process of working our way there. What I find with a lot of people is once we start doing the work, even more clarity comes in, and that point B that we initially talk about turns out to be something not even close to where they find out they can go. Lots of things that have happened to me. If you'd have asked me at the beginning, what do you want to be? I would have said here, and then it turned out much, much different and higher and better than I ever dreamed possible. And so again, this is a process of belief along the way. But even in goal setting, I think in goal setting, I have a lot of folks who struggle with setting the big, hairy, audacious goal. And it's
Mhm.
not that they have trouble setting the big, hairy, audacious goal. It's just they don't truly believe it. And if I can't get them to truly believe that that big, hairy, audacious goal is within their ability, then it's not even, it doesn't really help to set it. And so a lot of times we'll go with a good goal, a wow goal, and a big, hairy, audacious, incredible goal, right? And then we can kind of set a path, and it helps that belief come along. But if you don't have that belief, the faith, it's not going to happen.
Yes. And coach, just to back up, I do agree with you completely. And that's believe you can believe that you can do anything you want to, but a belief or a wish without action is dead. You have to do something. So you have to know a process. Yeah, and that's the greatest thing is, I mean, so for example, you whatever you said about professional athlete, like, yeah, you can though. You know how they got there. Just follow the best one. Who is the best one out there? Well, what did they do? Kobe Bryant. I like to use him because, well, Kobe is amazing. I mean, my oldest son, my first son, is named after Kobe Bryant, by the way, just so everybody knows that. But the thing I loved most about Kobe was, and there's stories that he shared. One, he was 11 years old. I think Lee, or maybe he was in Philly at then playing in some street league that his dad was a great basketball player as well. Obviously, like all of us out there, we think, oh well, my family did this. Well, I'm gonna do that too. Well, he got out there and he's 11 years old and he did not score 1 point. He played the whole time. He never scored a point, not by accident, not by anything. His dad said, and this is for everybody out there, and this is what you need to tell yourself. So tell yourself this, but then tell somebody else this as well. His dad told him, it doesn't matter if you score 1 point, I will love you no matter what. When he said that, Kobe said that is what really got him out of that why. But then let's further on. So obviously his amazing thing, 81 points. He did a lot of great things in the NBA, but he also talked about his work habits. He trained and woke up earlier so he could train 3 times a day while everybody else was training 2. Because here's the truth. The more you put in, the more you get out. And so if you're training more, you're going to be better than everybody else. And he knew that if he trained more than everybody else, eventually nobody could stop him. And they didn't. He scored 81 points when they were paid millions of dollars to stop him. They couldn't stop him. So just think about that. That is the action. So, coach, yes, I agree. Action, not just fairy tale woo-woo. You can't just sit here on your bed and pray that stuff's going to come to you. But
At 54, my athletic endeavors have devolved into cornhole and things like that. So, but I could be the best cornhole tosser there's ever been if I put my mind to it.
Oh man, let me tell you, cornhole has opened up a whole nother world of sports. That's something we'll have to get into. But again, everybody, thank you for joining us. Claudia, thank you again for the comments and for joining. Just wanted to really get back on here, get you guys back in the right mindset. We wanted to kind of highlight. So coming up next week and the weeks to come, again, our mission is still, we want to get you to find, like Coach said, I think Coach nailed it, in a better way than my woo-woo, create heaven on earth. We want to help you find your purpose, your meaning, and guide you to what is going to help you get that the best way possible for you and your family. That's what we want. Now, some of our guests coming up, we have franchise specialist Patrick Michael Donohue. Can't wait to have him on. He's supposed to be on. Excited to have him on. He is an amazing guy, amazing story. Can't wait for him to just share his story with you guys. Then after that, we have Ryan Arcoraci. He is the Business Stories podcast leader and host. Can't wait to have him on. Super cool dude. Met him from Rena. Again, Rena, shout out. Thanks for all the connections. That's just somebody with a huge heart paying it forward. And that's really what it's all about. After that, though, we really just want to, again, like Coach said, we want to have people on sharing their stories, their journeys, and just to help you and guide you to whatever is going to take you to your highest and best self so that you can break through those ceilings and reach whatever level you want in this game of life.
And a lot of the folks that we bring on that have reached this level of success and we're highlighting their success, what you might notice is that they just are regular folks, right? They just found their passion and followed their passion and purpose and have achieved some really cool things. And so what I hope you'll see in our guest and in the things we talk about is you'll just see something in yourself that you can kind of correlate and then grow from.
Amen. Well, any final thoughts, Coach, before we take this out? Because I got to get heading.
No, that was it. Be safe getting to the airport. The roads are nuts.
Yeah, I will. Again, everybody, thank you for joining us. Claudia, shout out. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see my family. I'm so excited. Again, everybody, Thursday, we will recap this. We'll kind of go deeper. We will take a deep dive. It will be an hour show, so we will get a little bit deeper into some of those things we talked about to really just becoming your best self and breaking through and finding that journey. So until next time.
It's going to be about vibrations.
It's up here. And we want you way up here, y'all. Not like me, where my chair's sinking me down right now. My chair's like, no. All right. Well, again, everybody, thank you. As always, I am your host, DJ. With me, Coach Stacy B. And until next time, we are the Robinhood Capitalist. We hope that you just remember to feed the good wolf. That's the one that wins.
I'm always on the red eye. This time around, it's not even about getting paid. I'm just an addict for the moment when the magic is made. And when you are who you really are, it can put you through hell. Spend a day in the skin that you wanna live in and see how it feels while the world